Joining us now is Tennessee Republican Senator and member of the Senate Judiciary and Armed Services Committees, Marsha Blackburn. Senator, thanks for taking time on Saturday. You heard Mark Meredith's report there. I just want to get your reaction to the president saying that former President Trump should be denied classified briefings.
More of the double standard, double speak hypocrisy that is coming from the Biden administration. And Griff, this is one of the things that will remind people why they did not want more of Obama-Biden in electing Hillary Clinton, why they elected President Donald Trump. And I will tell you this, they should say, well, should John Brennan, should James Comey, should others stop receiving access to classified information? Should former President Obama stop receiving these briefings, security briefings? But you know, they've got a double standard and they're doubling down on their double standards.
Senator, speaking of briefings, I want to turn to the issue that for millions of students and parents across the country, it has become a boiling point, and that is the reopenings you see in Chicago, Philly, elsewhere, schools not reopening because of the teachers' unions. Now, at the White House press briefing, Jen Psaki was asked whether or not they would use the president's bully pulpit to push these schools to reopen. Here's what happened. Watch.
The president is absolutely committed to reopening schools. He wants them not just to reopen, but to stay open. And he wants to do that in a safe way. And we're going to rely on CDC guidance, which again is not officially out yet, to determine the best way to do it.
Senator, your reaction?
Well, there again, double standards. The White House has one opinion. CDC had already said that children could go back to school, taking the proper mitigation strategies, getting those in place. And that is your PPE, making certain you're using masks, you have dividers, and the teachers are on the list for getting vaccinations. Here's the deal. It seems that the left is concerned about COVID in the classroom. They are not concerned about COVID at the border crossings. And then you have pediatricians who are saying, get kids back in school. Look at what is happening with mental health, with teen pregnancy, with teen suicides. You need to get these children back in the classroom. I will tell you this, Griff, if I were Lori Lightfoot, I would fire every one of these teachers that will not go back to school in Chicago, will not go back to teach these children.
So, Senator, why won't the White House help Lori Lightfoot and others and lean on these unions to reopen?
You know, it's amazing to me because Congress has appropriated, get this, $110 billion to help get these children back in school. In Tennessee, most of the classrooms are open. Our county mayors, our school boards, our school systems, our teachers, our parents, they're all working together to make certain that children get back to a normal lifetime, a normal school day. But you're not seeing it in these big blue cities. It's why people are getting out of them as fast as they can.
So with the COVID relief package, which is moving right down the path to getting passed with reconciliation, are you calling for a contingency in that final piece of legislation to get that money? Yes. You have to reopen.
Yes, we have said, and I had an amendment that we filed that said you can't get these federal dollars if you are not going to have children back in those classrooms, if you're not going to have those teachers in person back in those classrooms. This is despicable that these unions keep moving the goalpost. They are saying, we're not going to go back until you do this, that, or the other. And Griffith has nothing to do with the education or the safety of the children in the classroom. And we know these children are learning virtually nothing when they are not in the classroom. We know their nutrition is failing. We know there are mental health issues. As I said, suicide is up. Pediatricians are saying, get them back in the classroom.
Senator, we've just got a few seconds left, but I do want to get your preview. We have an impeachment trial coming. What will happen?
In my opinion, it is an unconstitutional impeachment. I think the Democrats are now wanting to get this over as quickly as they can because they've realized if they open this Pandora's box of a double standard again, and they are going to try to impeach a private citizen, former president, then you can go back through Obama, Clinton, Carter. You can go to public officials like Clinton and Comey and Strzok and Page, and you can pull them up for impeachment. And they're beginning to realize they may have opened a door they did not want to open.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you for taking time. It's going to be a busy week. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.